Hi, Scorpio. It's me, your girl, the Kinky Witch. How are we doing today? Scorpio, today we are here for your Midheaven 10th house career and professional guidance reading. Scorpio, this may also apply to your sun, moon, rising, and descendant. Take it where it resonates, leave it where it does not. Scorpio will be looking at the energetic time period of April 15th through to May 15th. So yes, this is at the end of the um it's already past the 15th, but these energies have been crazy and it's been taking your girl out. Crazy. All right, Scorpio, let us pray. Divine Mother, Father God, angels, ancestors, and guides, I ask that you allow me to see and say all that I must. Scorpios are your children, Lord. They're your beloved. What is your guidance for them? All right, Scorpio, we're going to start with getting into the vortex with Esther and Jerry Hicks. And then we're going to clarify with some tarot. And we're going to finish it off with some additional guidance using the 4 agreements. All right, Scorpio. We have number 20. Flawed premises can attract unwanted evidence. I'm telling you, it's like energetically, there's a theme, and there's a theme happening across all the signs. And I think it's because of the time frame we're in, where we are at such a powerful and palpable place, where the energies is just resonating among all the signs. It's like, hey, we're in a time of deep manifestation. Think what you want into being. Think what you want into being. Speak what you want into being. Speak what you want into being. How you treat people is so you're going to get treated. Karma's going to be instantaneous, right? So there are just some things, right? I want us all to be mindful of and focus on. So the first is 20, right? Flawed premises can attract true unwanted evidence. It says, if you were to hear a false premise again and again until you yourself began to believe and repeat it, now your own activation of the contradictory vibration would interfere with your sense of intelligence and you would begin to attract evidence of your belief. In effect, proving the false premise to be true. And so it becomes increasingly hard for you to call this a false premise when the evidence seems to be telling you that it is true. For over time, you come to believe it is true. It's like you're taking things that you know that are not true, and because you keep talking about it, speaking on it, imagining it, think like you keep thinking about it, speaking on it, reflecting, like you're always going back to this false premise. And because we are intelligent beings, the universe is going to start bringing us evidence to prove it to be true when it's not, right? But the shift of mindset needs to happen wherein you recognize that is not true. That is a false premise. And you then put it to the side. You no longer focus on it because you know that's not true. So any evidence anyone tries to bring to you to prove it to be so, you're like, actually, that's not true. I know that's not true. I know that's not fact, right? So what I'm getting here for you, Scorpio, is that there may be something happening right now in your professional life, right around you that you're like, dang, is this true? And you're like, true question mark. If you have to say true question mark, then you're like, until, and I have to make sure I'm saying this right, right? So until something happens to show me that this is the truth, this is a false premise, right? It's also a false premise because I categorically know it not to be true. All right, I'm gonna go back on that because they're shaking their heads. They're like, no. If you're saying, is this the truth? Question mark. You need to be subjective. They're showing me. Okay, they're like, yes. You need to be subjective in the fact of who, what, when, where, why. And the truth will answer all of those. The truth will tell you who did what, when, where, and why. The false premise is a contradictory of that. The who, well, you know it to be this person because you saw it, but the false premise is telling you someone else. The what, you know, well, this was the reason for the issue, or this is the reason for the discussion, but the false premise is like, actually, it's this. So it's like, you're going like, is that the truth? Like skeptical question mark, not is that the truth? Inquiry question mark is what they're saying. The tarot cards will show us, the tarot cards will show us, but ultimately what spirit is saying is don't take a false premise and make it your truth. If you know, right, you are a good leader, you are a good leader. If you know you're a competent employee, you're a competent employee. If you know you are a good business partner, you're a good business partner, right? Don't let someone else's fallacy, don't let someone else's lie, don't let someone else's false presence kind of make you out to be a liar to yourself, like, or you're questioning, like, but is it true though? Is it me? Is this the truth? Or is this me? Like, what is this? Like, don't allow that to happen to you. We have the next one, 25 of 7. This is a repeating card that has shown up over multiple signs. It says, causing pain for others would attract pain to me. So, Scorpio, you're being cautioned here. Do not cause pain for other people. Not during this period of time. Karma is instantaneous. It says the flawed premise, my group or way of life is the only correct way. Therefore, all other ways must be stopped, is the basis of the majority of unhappiness on your planet. Not only do those beings pushed feel the pain, but those doing the pushing feel it as well. In fact, the unhappiest, least fulfilled among you are those who are pushing against others, because in doing so, you are disallowing the most important relationship of all, the relationship between you and you. So it's like, if you are a part of a group, Scorpio, you're working on a project. And everybody wants to go right, but you're the only one that wants to go left. And you keep pushing and pushing and pushing and questioning and you know, you're stalemating the situation. You're going to be, sorry, I was moving like dirt earlier. Some got my eye and I have my contacts on. Sorry. Um, so as I was saying, you're the one pushing against what the group is more leaning towards, right? At some point, you're gonna see now how the group is they're uncomfortable. You're uncomfortable. And so Spirit is saying to you, when you engage in this, you then basically, it's like you are disallowing the relationship you have with yourself, because why are you the only one fighting against the grain, right? You are making yourself unhappy because no one else is listening to you. No one else is taking what you're saying into consideration. And what this is saying is you need to learn when to stop. You need to learn when to stop pushing. You need to learn when, if you're like, hey, this is my opinion, I think we should do this, and the group's like, no, what about this? What about this? Yeah, we all think we should go this way. It's like, okay, majority rules, right? You don't have to like it, but majority rules. What in life, we should know better than to think that our feelings, emotions, and opinions is law. So what we say is what goes. In life, we know that not to be true. So what Spirit is saying here is you're coming upon a situation where there's a false premise out here that is impacting your ability to see things clearly. And Spirit is saying to you, instead of pushing on others, pushing against the grain, if this is a project, sit back and okay, majority rules. But you still understand this is a false premise here. I know it's not correct, right? It does not change the truth. But if that's the path that the group is going down, that's the path the group is going down. Because ultimately, what you're trying to build, if it's not aligned with that false premise, Scorpio, it's not going to work. And then the group will come back and say, okay, well, okay, Scorpio, let's look at what your version is, your idea. Let's look at what this would do. And then you move in that breath because it was the truth and it aligned with what your vision is, you're moving forward. So we have to learn when to do that very delicate dance, is what Spirit is coming through to say. The next one we have is 26, which is 8. It says, I will not try to control the uncontrollable. Yes. We want you to reach the place where you are willing, not just willing, determined, not just determined, eager to let go of the need of control of things that are uncontrollable, like what anybody else is doing, and give your undivided attention to the only thing you can control, which is how you feel in any given circumstance. In other words, we want you to leave this moment saying, I've decided that I'm going to take life as it comes, and I'm going to do the best that I can do in the midst of what I am doing. Right? Scorpio, you need to release the need to be in control of whatever this situation is. All right? Yeah. Cut the deck, there's the devil. You need to release the need to like want to be in control of the situation, of the story, of the premise. Are you the one holding the false premise? Are you the one trying to make fetch happen, Gretchen? Right? If we understand this and we understand, okay, I'm fighting against the grain here, and me causing unnecessary tension and pain in the group doesn't just impact them, it impacts me as well, right? So depending on each, whoever is listening to this, depending on your individual situations, Scorpio, you need to understand here that there are times in life where we are not the main character, we're supporting characters. And by trying to take on main character energy, we turn unwanted eyes upon us. So release the need for control and let the truth speak for itself, right? Yes, when we work in a group, we don't necessarily like what the group is saying, what the group is doing, but guess what? Majority rules. And you're going to do it, you're going to do your job, and you're going to say, okay, this is what it is. And if somebody's like, oh, but we know you, it was like, listen, yes, that was my opinion on the matter, but as a group, we decided we were going to do this. So this is what it is. It's not personal, right? Because you want people to realize that I'm here for the greatest and highest good of the group. And if the greatest and highest good of the group is doing what someone else thinks we should be doing, let's take a stab at it. Because all we can do is try, right? All right, Spirit, let's clarify these cards. You know, Scorpio, sometimes it's a-okay to sit back and let other people go before you. It's okay for other people to lead. It's okay, right, if your ideas aren't taken into consideration. And I say that because, okay, ultimately, if your vision is the correct vision for whatever this is, it will come back around. But sometimes things have to go the long way. We have to take that long winding path. We have to rule out every option or every scenario. And then we may ultimately come back to your idea or a hybrid of your idea. But when we fight and when we start being like, oh, this is personal, like you guys don't want, to listen to me, when we start fighting, when we start pushing back unnecessarily on people, when we refuse to release the need to be in control of everything all the time, when we start doing that, it makes for a very difficult life. And we keep doing that, I should say, it makes for a difficult life. We have the Nine of Swords coming through here. So for me, this is a quick message, information, or a message coming through, right? Knight of Swords. This is an email, this is a conversation, this is a contract, or whatever this message is coming in fast and it's important. Temperance is showing up here, right? So temperance for me talks about having patience, right? Also having the ability to alchemize the situation you're in. So yes, I do see here where whatever message or information that's coming through could have to cause you to rebalance yourself, rebalance the scales, rebalance how you're doing the work, like, restructure your work, alchemize the energies around the work, have patience until the final end product is done. You do have the Knight of Cups also coming through. So this could be an offer coming to you, right? Somebody saying, hey, we want you on this team. This is information coming around. So the temperance I'm seeing here is you changing up your schedule, adjusting your schedule, right? But this Knight of Cups coming in is coming in with a sweet offer to you, right? We have Judgment. This may be a long time coming with Judgment here. Such a pretty card. Sorry. There you go. We've waited for this to come back around. That's why Judgment and Temperance are falling for me, how I lay my cards out on the same line. You've been waiting for this to come around. Right? So if in the past you've been poo-pooed or you've been put to the side or your ideas have been poo-pooed, your ideas have been put to the side, this is coming around. We have the World card coming out for you, right? Whatever this offer is, whatever this incoming message is, right? It is opening the doors for you. The World card shows that the doors are being opened. We do have the King of Cups showing up. Right, empathetic leader. He is suave, debonair, charming, charisma, right? Scorpio, this is always you and my decks. You have the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups coming through. So Scorpio, you could be working for somebody who I'm hearing a bit of a pushover. If it's a woman, a simple compliment will win her over. If it's a man, simple compliment. It's like, like, oh my God, I love that tie. It makes your eyes pop. Handsome. Or, oh my God, I love that outfit. Where'd you get it? That dress is beautiful on you. Doesn't have to be sexual. It's just like compliments, right? I'm hearing brown nosy. Like, so this is the boss you would brown. This is the boss you'd brown nose with. We do have the Seven of Wands here. And I can see where you in the past have always had to have your back against the wall, right? Where you always had to fight off and defend yourself, protect yourself. So I think even though you're recognizing, and this is maybe where that flawed premise is coming through, where you're recognizing that this change is coming through, right? This nine of message came through and delivered a message where temperance you've been waiting for, right? Knight of Cups, this is an offer you've been waiting for. Judgment, it's about time. This is karma setting itself, resetting the wheel. The world, this is the doors being reopened for you. This is you being placed under a very compassionate leader. But for some reason, you're going into this situation with your backs up, dupes up, ready to scrap. And I'm hearing the song, I heard it all before, right? This change, this news that's coming in, Nine of Pentacles, it's changing a lot for you. The World card is opening up opportunity. This is a pay increase. This is a contract being signed. This is money. And Eight of Swords, this has you in your head. I'm telling you, you're like, it's like you're waiting for the shoes to drop. And you can release that. That's the flawed premises are keeping you trapped. Release that. Right? Like, see what is in front of you. See the truth. Release. Until someone physically does something to you that is a negative, you do not create the negative, right? You do not create that flawed premise. But if you can say, listen, on this day, this person did this, the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and the how, that is truth. Even if it is someone acting out of their dark nature. Call a spade a spade. But until that is done, do not create that false premise. Do not go into your new situation holding the baggage from your old situation, Scorpio. Right? We have the Four of Wands. This is a firm foundation. Your hard works are paying off big time. You are in a firm foundation. You can trust this opportunity when it comes in, but it's going to take conditioning your mind to make sure you're not repeating the same false premises over and over again. Because what did the card say? The more you do that, the more the universe will bring you evidence to back it up. Is that evidence true? Probably not. But all of a sudden, you're going to see 10 cents and make it fitty. You're going to see stuff and be like, 1 + 1 is 10. I'm telling y'all, you're like, and somebody else is like, 2. You're like, no, 1 + 1, 10. Or 1 + 1, 11. Like, look, they did this, then this happened, 11. It's like, but they did this and this happened too. Like, so that's get out of your head. Put your defenses down. Be collaborative, be engaging. Okay. Understand that no, people don't always have to go with what you say, but like I said, there may be a hybrid version. Well, how about if we do this and that together? What would that look like? Or let's try this first. And when you try it and don't work, the group says, okay, we tried that one. It didn't work. How about let's look at what Scorpio says. Hey, oh, we can only do half of this. All right. How about if we try half of this and half of that? Is that the combo? You never know. But you got to give yourself and your team the opportunity to do everything you need. I have the Empress coming through here, Scorpio. This is leadership. This is leadership. This is growth. This is you growing with abundance. This is an abundance cycle for you, Scorpio. Yes. If you are going after a promotion is headed your way. If you're applying for a position elsewhere, you're getting that position. Um, if you work for yourself, you're independent, entrepreneur, not philanthropist, freelancer, you're getting a bigger contract. You're getting bigger payouts for the work you're doing. The Wheel of Fortune, it's telling me that any misfortune that you've endured is changing, it's turning, right? Like fortune is turning in your favor. You have the World and the Wheel of Fortune and the Empress for me. Actually, you got the Judgment card, you got the World card, you got the Empress card, you got the Wheel of Fortune, and you got the Nine of Pentacles from me, Scorpio. That is money. That is growth. That is status. And all you have to do is realize I'm not going to make 1 plus 1 be 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. That's it. Okay, there are two ideas on the board. You guys want to go majority rules? You want to go with this one first? All right, let's try it. All right, guys, that didn't work. We're all coming back to the drawing board. Scorpio, let's take a look at your idea. Okay, only half of it can work. How about we also look at the other half? How about we see how they work together? Boom, solution. You're recognizing that I don't need to push back. I don't need to push back on people. I don't need to push back on things, right? For it to work because we're here to co-collaborate with each other because everybody's diversity is what makes the world go around, right? We understand karma and we understand that we don't need to be in control of everything. Like even the Empress, as a divine leader, she's not in control of everything. She got people for that. You got people for that. Oh, you need those files filed away. Yeah, we got people for that. We got people for that. Know yourself, understand your role, read the room. Oh. Mhm. All right. Always do your best. Take action without expecting a reward. Do your best and take the action because you love it, not because you expect a reward. When you take action without expecting a reward, you enjoy every action and you can even receive a greater reward than you imagined. Yeah. And this is what we see here, right? You're taking action. You're not expecting a big reward. You're not expecting a big payout. You're just happy that you're being considered to be a part of a group or you're being considered for a position. And you go in and you do the work. And that work is rewarded, right? Always do your best. Honor yourself. Honor the man or woman that you are. Take the risk to express your dream. Taking action is about living fully and expressing what you are. Be you, Scorpio. Don't hide who you are. Always do your best. Express your own divinity. You do not need the acceptance of others. You do not need knowledge or a great philosophical concept. You have the right to be you, and you express your own divinity by being alive and by loving yourself and others. Yeah, you're not changing yourself for anyone. Are we adjusting? Yes, right? But are we changing? No. Be impeccable with your words. Create a beautiful dream. Yeah. Your word can create the most beautiful dream, or your word can destroy everything around you. Impeccability of the word only creates beauty, love, and heaven on earth. That's what I'm talking about, Scorpio. What do you say? Watch what you say. Watch how you say it. Watch who you're saying it to. Take a beat. Like, right? If you get angry about something, be like, guys, can we take 5? Just give me a minute. Let me collect my thoughts and come back and you can articulate what you want to say, right? Do not speak in anger. Do not speak, don't try to coerce people into stuff. The impeccability of the word and the honesty, of always being yourself and always doing your best will always leave people looking at you like this is the person that Scorpio is. This is the work Scorpio does. This is the ethics Scorpio has. So when somebody comes to them with a false premise about you, they could look at that person and be like, we don't know that person. We know this person. None of that makes sense for what we know. Oh, yeah, so, right? To thine own self be true, Scorpio. Okay? But you ain't got to fight. You ain't got to kick up a fuss. You just literally, this is the time for you to go with the flow. Let someone else lead because trust me, you will also reap a great reward from it. Scorpio, this has been your reading. I hope it resonates. Please comment, like, and share, and even hype up the channel so that our message can get out to other people. I'll see you later, Scorpio. Asheo.